Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Chelsea are champions of the world. We're champions of Europe, Super Cup holders. We currently have 3 trophies at our disposal in the trophy cabinet that we have just won. It is a fantastic feeling, and today we're going to talk a little bit about our manager, Thomas Tuchel, about the backing that he is supposedly going to be getting in the summer as a result of the success that we've seen at the club since he took over just over 1 year ago. I was going to do a video when it was Thomas Tuchel's 1 year as Chelsea manager. I was thinking it would be nice, wouldn't it really, to just do like an appreciation video for what Thomas Tuchel's done since he came to the club. But at the time, there was that one trophy still missing. And there were also at the time questions being asked about the results of Chelsea Football Club, whether the form was actually enough for people to start questioning whether we could even start to say Tuchel could actually be sacked here if we continue to get results like this one. We're on a similar run in the Premier League to the run that we were on under Frank Lampard, where Lampard inevitably ended up getting the sack. We've won every single trophy there is to win. Thomas Tuchel has won every single final, apart from the FA Cup final, that we've been in. We've got a League Cup final coming up in just a couple of weeks' time, and things are positive again at Chelsea Football Club. It was reported by Matt Law from The Telegraph that Thomas Tuchel is going to receive some serious backing this summer from both Roman Abramovich and also Marina Granovskaia. Now, there are some brilliant images going around from the ending of the game against Palmeiras in Abu Dhabi. You see Roman Abramovich out on the pitch. You see Marina out on the pitch too. I think there was an image with Marina on the pitch. And also Thomas Tuchel proudly holding yet another Chelsea trophy. Now, in this report from Matt Law in The Telegraph, it does very much look as though, as a result of believing and reading these reports, that there is absolutely no doubts that Chelsea Football Club see Thomas Tuchel as the manager to continue to build under Roman Abramovich. Now that Roman has won everything there is to win, if I'm trying to see it psychologically from the mind of a man like Roman Abramovich, who has been at Chelsea now for 19 years, in that time we've won 21 trophies. That is an average of over 1 trophy every single year, which is absolutely phenomenal. If I think about this now, I'd be looking at the completed trophy cabinet, the completed collection of potential victories that Roman Abramovich now has as owner of Chelsea Football Club, and I would be sitting here looking at the current crop of players, at the immense success that we have experienced as a result of Thomas Tuchel being there now for just over 1 calendar year. I'd be looking at this and I'd be thinking, you know what? There are some players in this team who we could actually sell and end up not making such astronomical losses that we have made on certain other players that we've bought in the past. We also look at this squad and we think, well, they're already incredibly young, which is something we've known now for a couple of years, but not only are they young, but they're already incredibly successful. And I think if we look at the Premier League this season, Manchester City have been incredibly lucky to not have injuries, but without disrespecting them by simply labelling that as the reason why they're running away with the Premier League title, this Manchester City team are a team who have been playing under Guardiola now for many years. They're a team who have solidity in terms of they know that Pep Guardiola's job is safe. They don't have to keep adjusting to different tactical changes. And they've also got a squad with a hell of a lot of depth, albeit without really having a number 9. But it's Guardiola. This is Man City. They get away with it. They do a good job. Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp was given time, serious time, brought the Champions League to Liverpool, and he also got their first Premier League title. Yes, they've spent a hell of a lot more money than Thomas Tuchel did, but bringing it back to that full circle that I spoke about with Roman Abramovich now having won everything, I think this could be the time where he looks at the foundations that were laid way back when he took over in 2003, and when he said that he didn't just want to pump a load of money into the Chelsea first team, he wanted to create Cobham as it's known today. He wanted there to be a constant influx of players coming from the academy with the opportunities to break into the first team of one of Europe's most successful clubs, which is undoubtedly what Chelsea Football Club have become. So now, I think most of the fans, including myself, think that Thomas Tuchel is probably the best manager we have or have had in recent times to actually bring some sustained longevity at the club in terms of him remaining as the manager, imprinting a philosophy that we can actually use as a template for the future success of Chelsea Football Club. Frank Lampard, I think, set this up perfectly when we had that transfer ban, couldn't spend money, and we bought in so many young players. When Eden Hazard left the club, Chelsea knew that we were losing a talisman and we didn't have the opportunity to bring in anybody else. So Roman Abramovich's overall picture, I think, at Chelsea, as a result of that Club World Cup final win, I think it's gone full circle. And I think it kind of completes now that image that he had about wanting Chelsea to become one of Europe's most successful clubs. Done. Wanting to build an infrastructure from the bottom up that enables Chelsea Football Club to be seen as one of the most productive clubs in the world. He's done that too. Now, having chopped and changed managers so many times, Thomas Tuchel has won more in his first year, I think, than any Chelsea manager has ever done within the first 12 months, including the biggest trophy of them all and the one that's eluded us for so long. So the fact now that it's being reported that we are ready to back Thomas Tuchel, I'm delighted to hear it. And the issue that I have is, when we back Thomas Tuchel, how is this going to work? We know that Chelsea made a loss last year, which we're usually doing very well in terms of seeing money come into the club. We spend a lot of money, but we always manage to stay on that correct side of financial fair play. And at the moment, we're looking at the potential of losing three, maybe even, well, three is the maximum option, three potential centre-backs that we could lose this summer. Azpilicueta, there are talks that there is an agreement made with Azpilicueta and Barcelona. Now that Azpi's won everything at the club, he will see his game time deteriorate as a result of Reece James coming back from injury, Trevor Chalobah continuing to develop, Thiago Silva signed a new deal. So Azpilicueta to Barcelona, as much as I personally don't want it to happen, it is certainly a feasible thing to look at. Thiago Silva has extended to 2023, but because of his age, we can't really look any more beyond season by season at this point. And Toni Rudiger has also not signed a new deal. After seeing Rudiger's performance again in that final, seeing the celebration when Kai Havertz put the ball into the back of the net, you just got to wonder why, if Thomas Tuchel, which he clearly does, sees Rudiger as such a key player in this Chelsea team, and I think it's absolutely a no-brainer now to anybody in world football that Toni Rudiger has become one of the best centre-backs in the world over the course of the past 12 months. So when we see that the board want to back Thomas Tuchel, my first question to ask about this, not saying that it's wrong and it's not going to happen, 25k is currently the disparity between Chelsea's offer to Rudiger and Rudiger's demands. We've had players like Danny Drinkwater on 100 grand a week at our club. We've had Bakayoko's coming in for 40 million, who we're paying probably somewhere close to 100k a week. If we cannot give Toni Rudiger an additional 25k, then that already for me is a wonder in terms of, like, how are we really seeing this bigger picture? Are we backing the manager by not giving his top defender, the man who is so key to Chelsea right now, 25k a week? I know I say it so nonchalant, as if it's like it's not a lot of money, and I'm sure there is a lot to be said about this, but Rudiger wants to stay. The disparity is about 25 grand. Please, Chelsea, Marina, Roman, just give Rudiger that 25 grand. And then we can already answer one of the key questions, which is, what are Chelsea going to have to do in the summer if we cannot secure the contracts of Azpi, Christensen, Rudiger? Thiago Silva is done, that one's ticked off, but again, that's only on an extension for 1 year. So if Chelsea go out there and Christensen leaves, which I think Christensen's going to leave, Azpi, it would make sense if he does leave, that leaves a gap where Chelsea need to spend money on two centre-backs this summer. Having won the Champions League with Azpi, Christensen, Rudiger, Silva as our centre-backs, with Reece James being that right wing-back, I just wonder how Chelsea can replace these two while still looking further forward on the field. You've got Kante and Jorginho, whose contracts run out in 2023. If they're not going to sign new deals, then you can bet that Chelsea this summer will be looking to potentially offload both, if not one of them, before they go for free in a year's time. So when you look at the hole that could be left in this Chelsea squad of potentially Jorginho, Kante, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, when we look at the potential of those five going, 3 of them could be well on a free transfer, you start to think, well, okay, we haven't managed to balance the finances too much here. So when we talk about backing Thomas Tuchel, Chelsea are going to have to spend an astronomical sum of money to replace the quality, the influence that all 5 of those players have. I'm not for 1 second saying that this summer Chelsea are going to go out there and try and sell Jorginho and N'Golo Kante. The 3 defenders are slightly more plausible options that we might have to just say goodbye to them if they don't want to sign new deals or Chelsea refuse to meet their demands. Kante and Jorginho leaving would not only leave us having a massive hole to fill in the defensive sense, but we'd also need to bring in 2 more central midfielders. And again, like I always say on GBFC, I want to talk progressively. I don't want to just like highlight these worst case hypothesis, which is that we could lose all 5 of them this summer. I don't think that's going to happen, but if it did, then surely backing Thomas Tuchel would see Declan Rice make a move to Chelsea this summer, Chelsea spending that money that West Ham want for him, and then possibly we could see Aurelien Tchouameni also come in from Monaco. It would be a changing of the guard for Chelsea's spine, for Chelsea's midfield that has looked so comfortable now for a few years. If Kante and Jorginho are to leave, which I don't think they will, I think one of them may leave this summer. And if I was to pick which one it would be in terms of my guess, I think it would be Jorginho going to Italy. I think Kante will sign a new contract. And I think as a result of that, if they both leave, we need to bring in 2 central midfielders. If one of them leaves, then I think Declan Rice will be Chelsea's first choice, and apparently it's also Thomas Tuchel's first choice too. If we are really going to back the manager, then this summer, I expect if there's anyone going out of the door at Chelsea, we could also lose Christian Pulisic, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech. No one is entirely happy right now with the guarantee, or well, in this case, the lack of guaranteed minutes that they get. So we could lose a lot of players, and I think the only way that Chelsea will be able to replace the quality that we have in this Champions League winning squad, if people don't sign or if players want to leave, is by getting in decent fees for them. So I think the key for Chelsea to back Thomas Tuchel is to first of all sort out that Rudiger contract. Try and see if we can keep Christensen and Aspi at the club. Bring in Jules Koundé as well if one of them goes or whatever. And then we can focus on strengthening in not only knowing what we're going to do going forward, because at the moment, the football fluidity going forward in attack isn't good enough. Chelsea are going to need to address this, and this week, I'm going to be making a host of videos talking about the different ways that we could see Chelsea line up. How do we accommodate Lukaku? So stay tuned later on today, because the first video of those will be out here on the channel later from this one. Chelsea want to back Tuchel in the summer. I'm delighted to hear that. The question is, first things first, we've got to get Rudiger to sign that new deal. 25k a week is a bit different to splashing out 70, 80 million, which is the kind of fee that we need to spend to get in a player of Rudiger's quality. But anyway, going to wrap up this video for you guys here. I think going forward, that Club World Cup victory is massive for Chelsea. I think it is going to give the impetus to the board, to the owner, to be like, right, we've done it all now. It's time to really look at this manager as someone special, back him, and then let's see where our Chelsea can go moving forward. Plenty more videos on this kind of topic coming out this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and go and check out the link to GBFC 2, which I'm rebranding to GB Vlogs over the course of the next week or so. Going to be posting daily vlogs in shorts format over on that channel, and also some longer form videos as well, as the whole GBFC 2 football thing didn't really take off. I don't really have the motivation to do that. Love talking about Chelsea with you lot on here, but kind of want to do something a bit more creative over on what is going to be GB Vlogs. So check it out, link down below. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned on the channel. Catch you all later. Come on, you Blues.